Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's having a very, very good day. Welcome to Laced Up Live. Welcome to the first edition of Laced Up Live. Here with Coach Dub, Coach Charlie Williams. He is a former offensive analyst over at UNLV. He is currently a recruiting analyst at Inside Texas. So, Charlie, let's go ahead and get you up and introduce yourself a little bit more, kind of tell people about yourself, and just kind of let's just get it going.
Yeah, let's roll.
I did the wrong person. See, this is live. That's the problem, is that this is live.
It's all good. It's all good.
So all of this.
You with Dub tonight, so it's
We're
all
good.
great. So, hey, like she said, it's Coach Dub, Coach Williams. We say Dub for short for W, right? You find me on Twitter. You find me on InsideTexas.com. I'm there every day. I got articles. I go live there. I want to say 3 times a week, talking about all things Longhorns related. Got spring ball getting ready to come up. But like she said, former coach at UNLV this past season. I'm back home in the state of Texas. My home, with my family. So spend this time still around the college football game, recruiting, talking to high school kids in the DFW area and neighboring states as well. So that's kind of what I do now. So you can probably gonna see me on Twitter a lot because I'm out there promoting kids and just talking football. I love breaking
As
down
you
film.
should. As you should.
We're gonna break down some film today too. So
Absolutely. So what we're gonna start off doing is we're gonna talk about. I want to kind of start off talking about tomorrow, because spring practice starts tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah.
We are officially at spring practice, spring ball time. There is a lot to be excited about as a Texas fan. There is a lot of optimism coming out of Austin. There's a lot of optimism coming on the 40 acres. So let's just kind of let's get started talking about that, because there are a lot of different ways that we can go about this. So do we want to start offensive or defensive? How are you feeling? Because I know we wanted to go position by position. We're gonna do a full breakdown of you guys, a full preview of what we are expecting going into spring practice tomorrow. So do we want to start offensive, defensive? Where's your heart pulling you, Coach?
We're going to cover it all, right? So let's start with the team first. So spring ball does start tomorrow, right? Official. We're going to be out there on the field running. Probably just have helmets on only. But the kids will be out there pretty much going through things they've been going through all off season, really, honestly. So this won't be the first time they're getting introduced to the playbook or the plays or anything like that. Everybody who's been on campus since January, you probably have 20 to 25 plays down, right, and remembered so far. And they're going to go out there tomorrow and run those 20 to 25 plays and see who can remember the playbook, remember the plays from starting since January, and roll through. I think it's going to be a total of maybe 4 huddles, first team, second team, third, and fourth string. I'm sure first and second string will get most of those reps, right? Let's just be real about it. Then you have your third team.
You would think. One would think.
Yeah. So tomorrow's just about getting acclimated, getting out there, how practice is going to go. You're going to have a lot of new guys who just transferred in, a lot of new high school, not high school guys anymore, but freshmen incoming early that enrolled early. So they're going to be there. So it's their first time hitting the practice field and seeing the tempo and the pace of a college practice, which will be fun for them. They're going to have the music blasting. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait. I can't wait to go out and see reports from first practice.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all of the reports, get in the group chat and see something other than the conversations that we've been having the past few weeks or so, because off season breeds boring conversations. And so I'm just excited to get back into spring ball and just get back into that mentality of a fan and focusing on what's going on. And so let's just go ahead and get started. Let's get started talking about first off, I just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Before we get into everything, let's say hi to everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining live, for watching, for commenting. Make sure you're subscribing to us both here on YouTube and on Twitter. All of our information is going to be in the description box below. Make sure you get your questions in. We're going to be answering questions throughout the entire stream tonight. We are going to just kind of attack everything as it comes. And it's just going to be like this every Monday. We're just going to have a normal conversation, sit and talk about what's going on, what to expect, how to go about things, and let's just get it. Let's
go.
We have so I kind of want to get started talking about the early enrollees, because I feel like we have one of the largest early enrollee classes. Yeah. That was hard to say. Than we've had in a minute. We have a lot of early enrollees coming in for spring ball. So who are you excited to see? who are you kind of keeping your eye on to kind of see if they're going to be able to maybe get some early playing time, maybe development wise? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, and I know you said early enrollees, right? But I'm super excited to see the transfers, mainly the receivers, right? Because I want to see how much work they've been putting in with Quinn and Arch behind the scenes, getting prepared.
Hmm.
'Cause it's going to be key. Those guys are on the same page come August 1st when fall camp starts, right? Because you had Worthy for 3 years, you had Whittington for 10 years. Sorry,
You, you've had Whittington, you've had Jordan Whittington for a hot minute.
you
Loved
know,
him though. Loved having him here.
yeah, JT Sanders for 3 years. So you got kind of acclimated. He had 80 Mitchell for 1 year, which probably can kind of contribute to his numbers not being as high as they probably could have been because you just weren't on
Hmm.
the same page. You just don't have that rhythm. So it's important. I want to see that, right? I want to see that chemistry. I know you won't have it day one of spring ball, but I want to see the chemistry. Let's see if they have been working, right? Going through the plays and
Hmm.
on the same page because that's going to be key.
Absolutely. It's all about being able to, and that's one of the things with new age NIL, new age college football is you have so much attrition and so much roster turnover every single year that
Hmm.
you're basically not, I mean, it kind of goes with what Sark already does anyways and kind of revamping his offense every offseason.
Yeah.
But I feel like just as a whole in college football, we're at the point to where you have to not only re-recruit your roster every year, but you also have to I lost my train of thought, but
All
you
good.
see, this is why live is dangerous because it's because we sit and get to going and thinking and my brain just
Yeah.
flatlines.
Good.
We get to start babbling and everything, but um I'm just really excited to see these new incoming freshmen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, some of the transfers and stuff that I'm really intrigued by are a lot on the defensive side. The defensive side transfers, the Trey Moores, the Andrew Makubas, those are the ones that I'm excited to see how well they kind of integrate into the defense and what PK is already doing. And how do you feel about that? What do you think on the defensive side of the ball? Who are you kind of really looking at?
Yeah, I go defense. I want to see the corners, right? I want to see if they've been working on man coverage all season, right? Playing that up close in your face type of man coverage. I want to see if they've been working on that. I think let's see if they can backpedal. I know they play a lot of shuffle back to the sideline technique, which they teach in high school, honestly.
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, I want to see if these guys can backpedal, put their hands on people's slide and stay in front of receivers versus what we call opening the gate, letting receivers just have a free release and you're back into the sideline shuffling. Like, no, you have to give up the inside. Everything's open. Like, I want to see these
Mhm.
guys backpedal, like I said, put their hands on receivers, slide and shuffle their feet and run, turn and run. I think that'll be key because I think not having those two big guys in the middle, Sweat and Murphy, like these guys need to throw off the timing of every offense we play because we may not have the same type of pass rush or dominance up front. So let's just see. I want to see those guys compete. But other than that, I just want to see everybody. I want to see everybody just moving around, flying around. It's been
We're just excited for
it's
football. Like
football. Football is
it
it's
just
back.
means that football it just means football is almost back,
Yeah,
even though it's not at all, but I mean, we're pretty close. We're close enough, I
yeah,
guess.
I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it.
Right? So let's we'll take anything we can get in the off season because like I said, these off season conversations are
Yeah,
they're otherworldly, truly. They don't belong on this planet. But
I
so
see
let's
that.
just kind of break it down position by position. I know we kind of talk generally offensive, defensively,
Yeah.
everything like that, but let's go top to bottom, break down every single position group. Let's go through, let's talk about everybody, see where they're at, see how we're feeling about the rooms and where we're at depth wise, developmentally, and everything like that. So let's go ahead and let's just start right off the bat and start off with Quinn. Let's start with quarterback. Let's go with the big boy because I feel like Quinn has a lot of pressure on him this season with Heisman odds and stuff coming out. Pro day is on Wednesday. That's another thing that we can sit and talk about is we have a pro day on Wednesday and Quinn will be throwing.
I was just about to ask, is he throwing?
Quinn will be throwing at the pro day. He will be throwing to the Xavier Worthies, the Adonai Mitchells, and whoever else is all catching the ball. So I
Hey.
honestly feel like that's something to be excited about because it does give us an extra little glimpse into what Quinn has been working on.
Mhm.
And I feel like it also really puts Quinn in a position to really drive his name into the minds of these scouts.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge. I was just about to say, yeah, this is your interview, Quinn. Like up close and personal. Uh, yeah, starting the quarterbacks. Like I'm ready. I'm excited to see what he looks like. What has he worked on this off season? I kind of know what Archer's been working on, right? Because you hear so many things about him. Like he's a
Mhm.
grinder. Like Archer's
Mhm.
prepared mentally, physically. He's ready, right? So I just want to see Quinn take the next step, right? And I know like nobody's a perfect quarterback. Like you hear
Mm-mm.
so many people talking about, oh, Quinn is this, he's that. Like, look, nobody's perfect, right? Uh, just clean. I just want to see him clean up on things. I don't think we won't see that until we get to the season, right? Honestly, but I will look for like his footwork. You know, see how he works progressions. You know,
You
with
know. You know.
but I mean, Quinn's. I think he's gonna do. I think he's gonna do well coming back. Just I think he's gonna be more comfortable this year, honestly. And no people. Everybody can look at the game on TV and say, say things, but until you put the helmet on, and you're in the fire, man. It's not easy. It's just not easy. I don't care who you are. It is just not easy, right? And
Well,
so,
even something as small as getting on here and going live is not easy. It's scary. It's like it's
hey,
nerve-wracking. Like even little things like that scare me. So I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine being in that type of position, being the starting quarterback at the University of Texas with that perfect 5-star high school rating next to your name,
yeah,
with all of the NIL money that has been talked about, with all of the deals and blah, 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 blah. Like everything that comes with being the starting quarterback at the University of Texas in the NIL era
mhm,
is all falling on his shoulders.
right,
And I feel like that we're finally getting to a point to where we're going to see year 3 Quinn, and we saw the jump that he was able to make from year 1 to year 2. So, what do you think that that's gonna look like from year 2 to year 3? Because I know you were talking about footwork and everything like that, but I feel like a lot of Quinn's issues come more from decision making versus actual physical ability. So, what do you think about that?
and just watching some film today, right? I think the mesh point and the RPO read, I think it's a little slow. And for most of those that don't know what that is, it's pretty much when you're faking the run and then you're going to pop pass and throw it. I think
Mhm,
you read slow versus just getting rid of the ball. And for me, I think I just want to see his progression, like speed up. Like, hey,
mhm,
let's go, right? And we're up tempo offense, but he needs to play like that. Sometimes it's not, and he's not going through the motions. I don't want anybody to
mhm.
say, hey, he's going through the motions.
Misconstrue that.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. It's
Clip,
more like he's reading.
clip.
And, la, 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 la. Oh, got it. Like, no, you need to be. Oh,
Mhm,
fake run, throw it. Like, go everything. So, I just want to see the speed of his progression of the game, speed up for him and his mental clock. Right, like, hey, you don't have as much time, especially in the red zone. Just
mhm,
watching some film today versus OU. Right, they got an
mhm,
RPO pop pass, what you want to call it, while wide pop pass to Jatavion Sanders, and he fakes the run, which the linebackers bite, and the safety just
mhm,
sits sitting flat footed.
mhm,
JT turns around looking for the ball, and Quinn is back there setting his feet to throw. Like, you don't
mhm,
have time to do that. The window's closed fast in the red zone. Fake the run. As soon as you see the linebackers bite, throw it.
mhm,
Yeah, so it's just those little things. And if you watch a lot of his film, and people go back and watch it from Wyoming, the first game of the season, that's just who he is. So
mhm,
he just game has just he just has to pick the speed of the game up a little more. I'm looking forward to that. And the game will slow down for him to where he's not probably thinking so much and he's out there just reacting and just being himself, using the cannon of arm that he has. Um, and I'm not so much worried about football like most people. Like, as long as you get the
mhm.
ball where it needs to go, hey,
Yeah.
whatever. Don't tinker with that too much. Let the NFL guys do that.
Mhm.
Like, we need,
Well, and we've heard everybody say how difficult of an offense Sark runs. We've heard it multiple times how it's the true NFL style RPO type offense where it's geared towards the run.
right.
Everything goes through the run.
Hmm.
The run sets up the pass, the run sets up everything.
Right.
And so for Quinn, it's all about, like you said, being able to command the game, being able to make those quick decisions. And I think a lot of that just comes with confidence and comfortability in Sark's very, very, very intricate offense.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, going into year 3 though, it's almost the
Mhm.
exact same playbook, right? Like in
Yeah.
by year 3, you should be a film. If you're a quarterback, especially, you should be a film junkie. You should be like dialed into the playbook. Like it ain't gonna
Yeah.
change much. Only thing that may change is name, play of the name of the play. but it's going to be the
Mhm.
exact same. So going into year 3, you should have your playbook down. And honestly, even at UNLV, we ran a pro style offense, NFL type playbook. It was a lot. It's huge. I still got the playbook around here somewhere. Like it's about this thick, right? But it's about how you teach it to players. Like, don't throw it at them and say, learn this, right? You got to do it in phases, install. Like, man, we're starting spring ball. 1 week should be those 20 to 25 plays. That's all you should run all week.
Mhm.
So that it's ingrained in your mind. The next week, add another 20 plays. And you add on as you go. But then when you get to the summer, guess what? Refresher course, do the same thing, same install,
Mhm.
right? And by that time, you built your playbook. So I think it's
Mhm.
about how it's taught. It's about how it's taught and about how they learn. And everybody learns differently too. That's one key thing. And I think coaches need to take the time to get to know their players and how they learn. And
Mhm.
then, like you do in high school and world, get a study group. Like get together.
Make
Let's go through
friends.
the playbook. Let's get on the field and let's run through the playbook. Let's run through the plays. I think that's
Mhm.
key. So we'll see.
Creating those muscle memories, being able
That's
to
really all
just
it is.
learn everything and make it be comfortable enough with it to where you know it like the back of your hand, and you're just going, like you said, not going through the motions, but going through the motions enough to where they're just second nature.
Right. And it can be hard. Like we might have a play call. I'm just going to use red. Red may be the one word, right? But red does not. Red tells you what formation and play you're running, right? And so you got to remember those one words, or you got to remember, try right, Billy Snug, XZ post, something like, wait, what? But if I say red, red is still that. You just got to
Yeah.
remember it. Okay, where did I line up on this plan? Okay, and try
Mhm.
right. I know I go to the right if I'm the Z and Y, whatever. Like you just got to remember.
Mhm.
So it's just like listening, but it happens a lot. I think having the communication in the helmet is going to help a lot with that.
Oh, for sure, and it also doesn't help that you have Arch Manning right behind you too, like, it doesn't help having Arch Manning right behind you,
Hey,
right on your tail
talk
because,
about it.
we've heard from multiple different people all over the place that Arch's football IQ is top on the entire team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, bar none, number 1 on the entire team. Nobody knows the game of football like Arch does, and I don't know about you, but that kinda makes some freaking sense. Like, that I mean, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he's
I don't know why people act brand new whenever that conversation comes up that he just knows so much about football and the game. He's a student of the game and just dedicated to his craft when he's a Manning.
he's a man.
Like,
This is what they do.
duh.
This is what they do.
Literally, duh. Like, it makes no sense.
Nope.
So I know we talked about quarterbacks and everything a little bit, but we do have a couple of comments that I want to get to. We have some questions regarding the running back room. So let's go ahead and get this question up. Hi, Paige. Thank you so much for your question. She said, how's Cedric Baxter looking at practice, coach?
So we won't know till tomorrow, Paige, how he looks. But I would say all-season workouts. I think he did a great job of kind of redefining his body, shaping his body up to get ready for the not NFL, but college season, right? Coming up and going into his second year. And I think we'll see what Cedric looks like if he's more of a leader. Now it's his turn to be the man, right? Him and Jaden Blue. So let's see what those guys do now that they got the keys to the running back position, and let's just see how they do day by day.
Which has been the keys to a Lamborghini the past couple seasons,
Yeah,
right? At Texas,
yeah,
but all joking aside, pun intended, it just is what it is. We've had Bijan Robinson, top 10 pick. And
hmm
then you have Jonathan Brooks, who will most likely still, even after injury, be the number 1 running back off the board
could be, yeah, yeah,
in the NFL draft. Like, very much could be, even with sustaining a season-ending injury. So Tashard Choice is pumping him out. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing recruiting wise, developmentally. And I don't I will never have questions about the running back room as long as Tashard Choice is at the helm. That's just how I feel about the running back room. It's how I feel about Tashard Choice. Those guys they always just seem to figure it out. No
yep,
matter
oh
what
yeah,
it is, they always
yep,
just
I
seem
know
to
where it's
figure it out.
at.
Do you think that CJ and Jaden Blue are gonna end up being that more 1-2 punch, or do you think that there will be more of a workhorse back? And how do you think the running back room is looking overall? Because we've got reports that Savion Red's coming in as a big old Mack truck now. Like, there's a lot going on in that room. So
Yes,
let's go ahead and talk about that for a second.
I don't, and it could be a 1-2 punch unless somebody separates themselves, like to where they get the bulk of the carries. I think since we run the ball so much, I think the carries will be shared. just because they both do things great. They all got their own great ability. So I think it's just what Sark wants to do. With
Mhm.
that, you got Blue, who's really a speedster, and Baxter's just like an every down back. He's your bigger back, but he can also catch out the backfield. So
Mhm.
you can do so much. I like to see a lot of two back. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some,
Yeah.
personnel. I
Them
want to
2
see some
back
21.
sets.
Yeah, I want to see some 21
Mhm.
personnel, some 20. I mean, I want to see that.
Big
So
boy packages.
yeah, I don't mind that. Trust me.
Bring that Savion Red fullback.
And my teams
Oh.
can't line up to that because now everything's with all this 7-on-7 and spread. When you have two backs in the backfield, you come running downhill. These kids now, they're not used to coming downhill being physical like when I grew up playing football, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, you're like, it's a little bit of a different game
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah, different game. So, yeah,
Well, we do focus a lot more on the I feel like we do focus a lot more on the quarterback position nowadays than
yeah,
back in the day.
mhm,
Back in the day, quarterbacks are very protected,
right.
hence all the rule changes and how sometimes you can tackle, sometimes you can't. It just depends on the situation. So, the running back like I said, the running back room is something that I'm not really ever gonna be worried about as long as Tashard Choice is running the show just because he's proven time and time again to be able to get the big guys in the recruiting
Right.
on the recruiting trail, but also be able to get them in and do well with them and be able to handle that type of room because
Mhm.
running back and wide receiver can they there can be some divas in that room sometimes. There are a lot I'm not gonna okay, let's not say divas. We'll say personalities.
All right, cool.
Let's not say divas. We'll say personalities just because everybody's personality is different and you're not always going to mesh well with everybody.
Mhm.
But I think it says a lot to be able to consistently have a productive room the way that Tashard Choice has with as many different guys as he's had coming in and out, whether it be transfer portal, whether it be the NFL draft.
Right.
I think it says a lot about him as a coach and him being able to develop his talent and
Yeah,
everything.
he
So,
definitely he's gonna get the most out of his guys. I truly believe that, and I think he got the most out of Bijan and Roshan
mhm,
Johnson together. Honestly,
mhm.
so he's not afraid to coach. Get down and show you how it's done because he done it. And I think like if you put in the coach choice, like you're gonna get developed. That's mentally and physically. And I think that's really key.
Absolutely. So, we talked quarterback, we talked running back. Let's go into one that a lot of people are super excited about, but have a lot of
Mm.
question marks about, the
Yeah,
receiver room.
receivers.
The receivers. We have so much to be excited about with this room. Of course, Sark goes into the portal, grabs Isaiah Bond, grabs Silas Bolden, Matthew Golden, which I think
Mm.
is funny how their names kind of
Yeah,
correlate
yeah,
like
I
that.
know,
That was
right?
kind of funny. I was like, "That's punny." I like that. But, getting all these guys in the portal, bringing in so much different like, so many different types of receivers and the speed.
Yeah.
So much speed. We're seeing so much more speed in that receiver room than we did have last year. Well, I say that we did have last year because I mean, we've seen AD can run a 4.3, so that's I've
Yeah, yeah.
maybe I
Word is
kind of
records
foot
up
in mouth
made.
there for a second, but let's talk about the receivers for a second because I feel like I said, we have a lot to be excited about. So, what are you excited to see?
Like I said, kind of when we start this thing off, just continuity between them and Quinn and Arch. I just want to see what they look like. Are they on the same page? If they're running around, Quinn like, "Hey, I'm expecting you to be here," but they think, "Oh, I thought you were going to throw the ball here." Like, I want to see that type of thing. That's going to tell me
Mhm,
what kind of work they've been putting in. I want to see how many mental errors they have or don't have.
mhm,
Actually, right? Can you remember
mhm,
your plays where you line up? You know what I mean? Are you having a Quinn or Arch having to move you to the right side of the field, to the left side of the field because you're in the wrong spot, or are you supposed to be on
mhm.
the ball or off the ball? Like this, just small things.
Little things.
And I want to see them run fast. Like it's okay. Like everybody's fast.
Mhm,
Right? Do you play fast? I want to see these guys play
mhm,
fast. I think that's what a lot of times a lot of people get caught up on the 40-yard dash. Oh, they're fast. But you go look at the film, they never ran a 4.3 when they were on the field, right? Because they're thinking too much. So I want to see these
mhm.
guys be able to cut loose and just go and run
Well,
their
and
route.
I think that was a lot of people's questions with AD. I know a lot of people when the combine was coming up and everything, a lot of people predicted him to be in the 4.5s
Mm-hmm.
at the 40. And he comes out and runs a 4.35 and everybody's sitting here like, "Dang.
Exactly.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay."
yeah, yeah.
Dude was fast. Like, and it's not that he played slow. I'm not gonna sit and say that Adonai
Oh,
Mitchell plays slow in any sense of the word, but it didn't look 4-3 fast.
exactly.
And so it just goes to show that you play it, just because you're fast in the 40 doesn't mean you're gonna play football fast.
Correct.
So I think that's something to keep an eye on because we are adding in so much speed
Yeah,
in that
definitely.
room.
I can't wait.
I'm
I
excited to
think
see
it's
what Sark's able to do with it.
I mean, in his offense, everybody's going to get a chance to get the ball.
Mhm.
So I want to see who's number one and number two receivers. That'll tell me a lot
Mhm.
about it because, like, Whittington was a very capable receiver, but as a third receiver, he still didn't get the ball much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're
Sark
being
isn't known for spreading out the ball very much.
top three targets, three people going to get the ball. That's it. And a running back. That's it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you're going to sprinkle in, but
Mhm.
let's see.
How are you feeling about Amari Niblack? Let's we've talked about receivers, so let's bring in tight end a little bit because Gunnar Helm had some spurts last season, but obviously JT Sanders took the bulk of reps and everything for Texas last season. So how are you feeling about Amari Niblack? How are you feeling about that position and the transition between him or between JT to Amari?
Well, look, let me start with Gunnar Helm first, right? I think Gunnar Helm, and y'all don't crucify me or whatever. I think Gunnar Helm is a more complete tight end than
Mhm.
JT Sanders.
Hot take.
Blocking, route running, catching, the whole nine. Like he's a true tight end. Where
Mhm.
Jatavian was more of an H slot guy. Like he ain't mixing it up like that. Like he's out there almost with his receivers. So he's big and physical, but Gunnar Helm is like that true tight end, Jason Witten type. I call him Jason Witten. That's who I call him.
Yeah.
He's a hard nosed player. He's a complete player,
Mhm.
complete tight end. So yeah, but not Black is he's Jatavian Sanders, but way more athletic,
Okay.
gifted. He's faster.
Mhm.
He has receiver speed. He can take it to the house. He catch the ball. He can make a guy miss and go. So
Gone.
uh, I would like to see both of them on the field at the exact same time because it's going to force teams to kind of play base defense and maybe have three linebackers out there because you got two
Yeah.
tight ends. And then I can motion one of these bad boys out. It's like, come on, what you gonna do now? You gonna put your
Mhm.
big linebacker in space versus this one? So, so
Mhm.
so much you can do when you got three tight ends. I like going heavy package. So you give me two or three tight ends, there's a lot you can do.
You're like, "We gonna have some fun. We gonna have fun either way."
That's a lot of fun.
That's really exciting though. It's an embarrassment of riches. You
Yeah.
know, we're getting to a point in Texas football where it's iron sharpening iron. We have a legitimate 2 deep. We have the depth that we need in positions that are of need. Sark understands what to do in the portal. He understands what he needs to do recruiting wise. He understands what he needs to do whenever he has to take a step back and look at his team for the next upcoming season and where he wants to go with it. So I feel like it all of this just continues to make me feel more confident in Sark and where the program is going. So all of this is really, really exciting to hear.
Yeah.
Um, I know we're still on the offensive side of the ball, but Jesse asked a question, and I want to kind of bring it up here because you kind of brought it up a little bit earlier.
Jesse.
Yep, we got Jesse here. She said, "Who's going to step up at defensive tackle?" Because obviously losing Big Byron,
Yeah.
Big Murph Dog,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Tavondre Sweat. Those are two massive losses, literally and figuratively,
yeah.
on that defensive line. So, where do we go from here?
I think you play so many guys. I'm sorry, I was laughing at it coming. Cody, that's pretty funny.
I was looking at that.
But
We'll put that one up just so everybody can see that because that
yeah,
was a good
that
comment.
was a
That
good
was
one.
a funny one.
Hey, we call that the 30 personnel, right? Like Cody, I had to show it to you. The 30 personnel. We actually ran that at UNLV, but
BB gun though,
we called it
amazing.
Godzilla. We called it
Ama-
Godzilla.
but BB gun with
BB gun.
Baxter Blue and Gunnar Helm. BB gun.
I like
Come
it, Cody. Hey,
on,
Cody, look, I think you
come
need to get spark
on.
up
I
and
like that.
when
You need to trademark that.
you know how the producers for like the TV stations have meeting with the coaches. Hey, come on, this position, this person has got BB gun. Texas has been working on it all week. Blah, blah, blah. Shout out to Cody.
Shout out to
Give
Cody.
you a shout out. You know.
It was, we're gonna give you all the credit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All the credit.
Man, now I forgot the. Oh, you talking about D tackles? I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
so
let's go
sorry.
back to the
Yeah.
other question. Let's bring up Jesse's question real quick because
Um,
that's a big question mark for a lot of people going into next season.
yeah. I think we wait and just see who steps up. I think there'll be a rotation of guys. Honestly, in my opinion, that's
Mhm.
what I would do until somebody kind of separates themselves. Because you don't know what you have, honestly, because nobody's taking full time reps except the guys
Mhm.
transferring from Arizona, right?
Mhm.
And so you have him, right? Let's see how many snaps he can take. Well, I think Coach Baker will find out who's good at what and how long can they play consistently good. If you can give me 20 consistent snaps, okay, I'm gonna put you in for 20 snaps, and then I got a GA or analyst on the sideline keeping up with who, how many times they've been in. Okay, good.
Mhm.
So let him have his 20 snaps. Let the other person have 20 snaps. That way, you get
Mhm.
the maximum effort and the best productivity out of those snaps. So I think we'll do that until somebody separates. But I love Dre Bledsoe.
Freak athlete.
Yeah,
Like
he,
that's signed, sealed, delivered.
he's going to
Freak
blow a lot of
athlete.
people away. Like, there's not many 300-pound linemen who can pretty much, jump out the pool straight up without any help, or jump straight over a fence without grabbing the fence. Like, he can turn backwards. He can do it all. He can dunk a basketball, windmill. Like, that kid's a freak. So yeah,
Just an absolute freak athlete. So if Dre Bledsoe can hit his stride, if he can dedicate himself enough to the craft and making sure that he is doing everything he needs to do, I'm really excited to see where Dre Bledsoe is able to step up and act like be a contributor
right.
to this part of the defense because
And he won't be
like I
here
said,
long. He won't be
no,
here long if he does. He'll be gone.
no,
This is a good thing. It's okay
well,
to get people drafted.
and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, like I said earlier, it's a good problem to have.
Hmm.
We're at the point in Texas football where we have good problems, and that's nice. It's
Exactly right.
nice to sit and talk about, oh my gosh, Quinn better step it up from winning the Big 12 championship, otherwise Arch Manning is gonna come steal it. Like having these conversations, like
I agree.
having these types of conversations when I was in school, my quarterbacks were Case McCoy, David Ash, Tyrone Swoops, Gerard Hurd. Like
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
Gerard Hurd,
If he was given
I
a chance to like run a real offense, Gerard would have
yes.
been dangerous. So,
I
so
think I that is the
hey,
one that I would put a pin in. That is the one that I would put a pin in, but it it was not pretty.
right. That's all I'm
I
saying.
it was not pretty.
Yeah,
It was a
Gerard was
not
man. He did. Well, he started 2 games, but he beat Oklahoma.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Hey,
he
he beat OU.
absolutely did.
You know what I mean?
He absolutely
Look.
did. So, you know what? Even when we suck, we show some Texas fight. Let's get it.
Yeah,
Let's get it. But
Cody,
her
come on, man.
oh my gosh,
Come on,
Cody.
Cody.
Okay, I
Bruh.
just stopped.
Come on,
I'm not
Cody,
I'm not
man.
putting that comment up there. That one was funny though.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for commenting. Make sure you're liking, subscribing. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the above. All of our links and everything are in the description below. We are going to be live. We are live every single Monday. Every Monday, we are going to be right here doing this exact same thing, talking ball,
Facts.
getting to know everything
Yeah.
because we want to start doing a lot of really cool things as well. Like me and coach, we got ideas, okay? We've got so many ideas going on. It's just about actually being able to plan it out and get it
Yeah,
all
yeah,
get it
yeah.
all figured out, but I'm excited to be coming live every single Monday with you, and I just want to go ahead and be right here and say thank you for doing this with me because this is super fun and I'm really enjoying myself. So, I know we talked a little bit about we talked about defensive tackles a little bit, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on the defensive line in a second. But let's talk offensive line because this is the
Yeah.
second year in a row we've had a great return on the offensive line. Last year we returned all 5 starters. This year we returned 4. The only one leaving being Christian Jones, who's headed most likely to the NFL. So, I mean, we are on a good path. We are on a good trajectory. So what do you think the offensive line looks like right now? How do you think that's going to go? Cuz I know we've got
Yeah.
we've got a lot of guys
We do.
pushing for spots.
We do, and that's a good thing, right? I love
Mhm.
competition, so let's just keep it like I love competition. I think it makes the best out of most people, or those who are afraid of it kind of fall to the wayside. But hey, I'm with that too. But to that question, whenever it comes,
I wasn't even gonna say nothing, I just put it up there because I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But we have depth, right?
Mhm.
And injuries happen. I hope nobody gets hurt, right? But so I feel like now somebody gets hurt, like the next guy can step in and not miss a beat. We have depth and we got big humans, and like so, I feel good about the offensive line. I feel like we got to run the ball again. We better protect Quinn or Arch. We better run a lot of things. I think Sark better run so many different concepts
Mhm.
of the offense and not be afraid to do so because he's not afraid. Like he knows O line is going to give him the protection he needs, and they're going to create holes in the run. So,
Mhm.
hey, look, I love the O line. O line is going to be great this year.
I I can't remember the last time I've consistently felt this confident about the O-line at Texas. I can't remember the last time that why'd you make that face?
I was like, I can, but go ahead.
No, you go. Please, you go.
Well, because I know most people probably won't rock with me on this. 2016, under Charlie Strong, we had Coach Mac Maddox, a 2,500-yard rusher, 3,000-yard passer. We didn't have the best record, but we put up like stats. Our line was killer.
Yes, but I'm more so talking about the consistency from like year to year.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being able to actually look at like the guys that we're bringing in from the 2020, the guys that we brought in the 2022 class, that big O-line haul that we had in the 2022 class, that those are the guys that are now vying for those spots. Those are the guys that are now hungry and fighting and ready to get going. So it's like it goes back to what we were saying about it being a good problem to have. These are good problems.
Well, then yeah, you got to go back to Mac Brown days for that.
Yeah, right. Literally. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Well, but that's the trajectory that we're on is now whenever we're talking about these types of things, we're having to the things that we're accomplishing now or the goals that we have in mind now, we have to go back to the Mac days to even be able to say the last time we did one of those like X, Y, and Z.
I agree.
So the fact that we're even able to sit and say, "Oh, the last time we did this was when Mac did this."
Yeah,
That shows so much progress.
agreed.
That shows so much progress in the past couple years. So I'm just elated to be a Texas fan right now. It makes me feel better than being a Cowboys fan at the moment. But we
I
will
can't
not
help
talk
you
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
We will not talk about that. So I'm still free agency hurt my heart.
Somebody type in the comments, what are the Cowboys doing in free agency? So she can.
No, well, we won't get a comment, and that is what the Cowboys are doing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh man,
they are not doing anything. But anyways,
yeah.
So we talked about the offense, how we're feeling about each position group on the offense. And we kind of talked about D tackle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling on the defensive side of the ball? Because I feel like defensively is going to be the more drastic difference just because we are losing the two walls that we had in the middle, but we are also gaining and adding a lot in the secondary.
Right.
To where I feel like we are going to have different deficiencies than we did last season.
Well, I think
so. How are you feeling about that?
I think the defense will probably be on par where it was last year. It could be better, honestly. It depends on what scheme we run. I think Coach Nansen is adding some new things, and I'm waiting to see what that is. But I know he's bringing in his own ideas of what he wants to run on defense, and Coach PK is kind of giving him the leeway to do so. So I'm just waiting to see exactly how the defense looks. I know we have the pieces. Right? I just want to see how it all comes together, and I think that really tell me a lot about what the defense will be. Like we have the pieces in place. Don't get it twisted. We have linebacker. We have some young guys. And then the secondary is probably the most experienced. We have some guys. We have them. I can't wait to see. I don't know. I mean, spring ball will tell me a lot. Lineup and base defense, being able to stop somebody and play will tell me, okay, we got a chance to be good when we add exotic blitzes and all. I'm just ready to see. I don't know. It might be controlled chaos. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. I was
about to say I think we'd have a little bit of fun doing that. 'Cause at least it would be controlled.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least it would be
Really,
controlled and not just, like, out like, everywhere chaos, just everything just going awry all
yeah,
the time.
but everything
Man,
starts.
'cause that brings back PTSD. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like having those having those fears of, like, when is the shoe gonna drop? Like, when are we gonna screw this up? I don't have that feeling anymore, and I feel like that is a huge step in the right direction because it you know what? Steve Sarkisian is single-handedly curing my Texas PTSD. Slowly but surely, he's getting there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but with everything just like offense, everything starts up front on defense. So I'm ready to see what those guys
Mhm.
do up front on the edges. Right, we brought in Trey Moore from UTSA. Look at
Mhm.
that, right?
I'm excited to see him. I'm
Uh,
excited to see him. Oh, speaking of which, guys, I know that you good?
Sorry, something flew in my face. I don't know what that was, yo. I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Sorry, look. Look.
Ah. You know what? Hey, it's night 1.
You gonna get
It's
somebody
night
for real.
1.
Hey, look, something
We're
about Dub. Dub gonna give you a real reaction no matter if I'm on camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I don't know if everybody seen a clip with that that news reporter who was in the country reporting.
oh, and he's like,
The bug flu. He's
I'm
like, "Oh, you get out of here, this old country bumpkin town." Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, you a deal
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that video. But back to football.
Okay.
Back to football. So the edges, I'm really excited to see Trey Moore. We've heard oh, that's what started this was, make sure you guys are all going and subscribing to Inside Texas. Coach Dub is over there all the time giving out all the great information over at insidetexas.com, and make sure you guys is it still $1
Yes,
is
still
the real question.
yes, still $1. So please come and sign up. I got a lot of great detail, a lot of intel over there. Please, you get a chance, go to InsideTexas.com and subscribe. I promise you, with all the detail from recruiting to team news, behind the scenes, everything, it goes down to Inside Texas. And so you better read a lot of great articles, not from just me, from Justin Wells, um, and Boyd, you know what I'm saying, Eric Nalane. Like, there's so many guys over there putting in work, and it's a great thing we're doing over there. So please come like, subscribe, and come check us out.
Yep, they go live, they have videos and stuff all the time. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're on there all the time as well, talking recruiting, development, everything that's going on behind the scenes. They've got all the good intel. So make sure you're going and subscribing to Inside Texas and yeah, make sure you subscribe here as well. Subscribe to both of us. Like, comment. Make sure you're putting those questions in the comments as well. We are taking them as we go. So yeah, let's just get back into it. Trey Moore.
Yeah, Trey Moore.
Trey Moore, it was a huge addition because one of the issues that we had during last season, we noticed it periodically throughout the season, but one of our biggest issues, and it was really pointed out, it was really, really accentuated during the Sugar Bowl, was the lack of edge pressure that we were able to get.
All right.
So it was put on full display.
Oh yeah.
And we were still I will say I will give our boys a lot of credit. They worked their asses off to get back in that game, and it came down to a last second touchdown. So good on them for being able to come out of that and being able to work around it and still trying to almost figuring out a way to win.
Right.
But with that little bit of edge pressure, we win that game.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I go with you on that. Okay.
Well, I think adding in one or two sacks into that at all, disrupting that offense at all, could have been to our advantage.
It maybe, yeah. I think that I think that we were a little, outmatched, but it's okay.
No.
Well, let me time out. Let me not say outmatched, right? Because player for player, I think we were a better team. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Mhm.
They just made more plays. They were the better team
Mhm.
that night and executed more.
Absolutely.
But that offensive line was probably like the best offensive line besides Michigan. They won the award for the best.
They won the Joe Moore Award. So that was a very, very good offensive line. Like we weren't playing no scrubs.
Right. So
And
yeah,
like this Yeah, it was a really good game, and it ended up coming down to a last second situation.
Yeah.
And like I said, props to them for being able to overcome the lack of edge pressure, which was one of the things that we severely struggled with.
Hmm.
But I think coming out of that game and seeing Sark immediately go grab Trey Moore, immediately go grab Andrew Makuba, bringing in two guys that could and probably will be immediate difference makers.
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about like the transfers in on the defensive side?
We needed experience at safety. I thought Makuba was a great pickup. From the transfer portal. I was about to say free agency, but it's just like free agency.
It's
It is
basically
free
free
agency.
agency. We
No,
might as well.
I
It's
think
basically the same thing.
same thing. I think add Trey Moore, right? Add a veteran pass rusher. Like you can never. I always say this: you can never have too many pass rushers. I'm sorry, right?
Mhm.
Because when one guy gets tired, the next guy can come in and just rush the
Mhm.
pass at the exact same kind
Mhm.
of effort and skill. So I think that's huge. Adding both of those guys, I think adding the transfer from Arizona, the defensive tackle too, was
Mhm.
big time. But I think it gives guys like Barron Sorrell a break, right? Like
Mhm.
they haven't rushed
Well, because Baron Sorrell has taken a majority of the load at that position.
exactly, right? So he needed.
Baron Sorrell has not had much help
Mm-mm.
over the
Yeah,
past 2 seasons.
and Burke is very good, but I think they're this.
Oh, very much so.
You have a team full of the same type defensive ends, which are run stop
Mhm.
defensive ends. They may
Mhm.
play their position, they got the fundamentals, they got all that down. But when it's time to pin your ears back and fly and get to the quarterback, just think we were missing that. So I think that's why by adding those guys, it gives us a chance to get to the quarterback. So I think we'll see. Let's see how they do in spring because they're going up against Cam Williams and
Mhm.
Kelvin Banks. Like if they can beat those guys consistently, all right, we got
Mhm.
something. So we'll see.
How are you thinking about Colin Simmons? Like, what are you feeling there? He's up we got the report that he's up 20 pounds, and that was a couple weeks ago, so he might even be up more since then, we don't know.
Yeah.
But
I,
but
oh,
he has put on some mass. What do you think how do you think that that's gonna affect Colin's game in and of itself?
I think he added on much weight. I think Collins. Let's just see what he. I see what he becomes. I know he's a 5-star number one defensive end in the nation. I caution everybody, pump your brakes. I know he was ranked in high school. I know. And you think he's going to come and tear the college scene up? I get it,
Mhm.
but I think he may be a pass rush guy who has to learn how to play the run.
Mhm.
We're going to the SEC. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
we're not playing against some of the Big 12 offensive linemen anymore.
Mhm.
So let's see how he comes along. I think he can be used sparingly and rush the passer, kind of like
Mhm.
Anthony Hill was until he really got the game up under his feet, right? And then he
Mhm.
took over, he understood, and the game slowed down for him. I think the same with Colin, but we have so many guys at the edge. Like we're forgetting
Mhm.
so many guys that redshirt last year didn't play much. They are good, from
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think he can go Basic. How you pronounce it? He can rush the passer, right? So you got
Mhm.
guys, right? And so Colin may have to fight his way up, even though he was a big time 5-star. I feel good
Bring
about
back the Bash brothers of Ethan Burke and Colton Vasek. For those of you that don't know, Colton Vasek and Ethan Burke both went to sorry, I dropped this. They both went to high school together over at they were at
Westlake.
Westlake. I
Yeah,
was gonna say Lake Travis, but I knew it wasn't Lake Travis.
okay.
It's Westlake. They were
Yeah,
over at Westlake together,
agree.
and they were notoriously known as the Bash brothers.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to be able to see that on the field, possibly, maybe.
yeah, we'll see.
We will see. How about them DBs?
Alright, here
Because
we
that's I know we've gone into that's the last position group we've gone over pretty much. I mean, we can go a little bit more into safety because I know we talked about Andrew Bakuba. We didn't really go much into that room.
so I'm excited. I think we got a few pieces. We got Terrence Brooks one side, Malik Muhammad on the other, uh, Warren Robinson behind either one of those guys. Warren Robinson from Red Oak, Texas is a dude. I mean, that kid has a chance to be special. You have
Flipped him
Cap.
from TCU.
We did. And
Hmm.
anybody TCU was after with Gary Patterson over there, they can play. Let's keep it real. Uh,
Hmm.
we have Gavin Holmes also. The transfer came from Wake Forest last year. So he'll be another veteran we can add. We got a lot of young guys from Kobe Black. We have a ton of talent over there at the DB room. I'm
Hmm.
excited to see how those guys compete, right? And pick up the speed of
Hmm.
the college game because It's probably one of the hardest positions besides quarterback to play is corner. You're on an island by
Mhm.
yourself.
Mhm.
And here you go.
No help.
You see no help most of the time. So
No help.
yeah, and it's really not. It's not easy, right? You got to have a
Mhm.
mentality like you're going to give up. If you get past the mentality like, hey, I gave up a catch, I gave up a long catch, I gave up a touchdown. Okay, everybody does. It's how you respond, right? And I
Yeah.
know like most people, he gave up a long catch. He sucks. Like what? What?
Mhm.
No, everybody gives up
Trash.
a catch.
He's mid. Trash,
Yeah,
trash, trash,
I get it,
trash.
so I think that it's just how you respond after giving up that catch, right? Just don't give up
Mhm.
10, 20 catches. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You give up
just
5 to 7
okay.
catches, okay.
Don't be taking too much now.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be
But
doing all that.
5 to 7 I mean, it's hard. Cornerback is a hard position, so
Mhm.
I think now we have experience over that side, then we'll see. I want to see the communication pick up, getting the calls in from the sideline to those guys, right? Because a lot of times we
Mhm.
saw they were looking to the sideline, didn't know what the call was. Now somebody's running by our secondary because the safety and corner are not on the same page. Oh, we were in cover 4. I thought we were in cover 3. I thought we were in
Mhm.
cover 2. Somebody
Mhm.
figured it out, right?
Well, and with losing Ryan Watts to the NFL draft, there were many times last season where Ryan Watts wasn't on the field and they looked lost.
Well, I think that Coach Nansen fixed a lot of that
Mhm.
because
Why? If
he
you okay, so go into a little bit more detail about that, 'cause what do you mean by that?
yeah, Coach Nansen has a voice. Like he's implementing scheme. He's implementing communication. Like how they ran it back when he was at USC from Arizona, everywhere he's been. Coach Nansen's been great. So he's not one for like I don't want any miscommunication. I don't care if we got to
Mhm.
wear wristbands. We're gonna get this down. So
Mhm.
Coach Nansen is old school. Like he just has a different way of teaching and have an understanding. So Coach PK calling the front end and Coach Joseph calling the back end and no, 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 no. Like the smallest, like, hey, just like Cody said, details matter. Like it's like that little bitty things hurt us a lot. And so
Mhm.
communication is it's an easy fix, honestly.
Mhm.
You gotta work at it, right? I think the defensive back should be the loudest people on the field.
Mhm.
Communication wise. Like talk
Mhm.
to each other. You gotta be best
Mhm.
friends out there. Um,
Mhm.
and so I think we'll see a lot more of this communication on the back end. I think you'll see less mental errors from the secondary.
That's exciting
Yeah.
because, like I said, there were multiple times last season where we would just look lost. Like, there were times that, like you said, it goes back to the communication and the little details and making sure that everybody's on the same page and knowing what is happening and knowing how to dissect whatever offense is in front of you.
Yeah, yep.
Knowing that, "Hey, even if I may not fully understand, let me look to this guy real quick, let me communicate with him, talk with him, and let's make sure we're on the same page."
Yeah, and it got to be all 4 guys in that secondary or 5 because you got to know. Like,
Yes.
turning your head, you're doing your signals, this. I
Mhm.
check with me. Oh, I got him. I think that's
Perfect
very important.
example.
Bingo. Hey, even Washington. Hey,
Perfect example. The
look,
Houston game was a very good example.
Cody, I can go through all 13.
He's like, I got so many examples."
So many examples, but I mean, it's so many examples that you saw miscommunication, and it's going to happen. Like nobody's perfect, right? Even in the NFL, guys get miscommunication. All miscommunication happens, right? Let's just see less of that. I think that's key. Let's see less mental errors and miscommunications. I think that's key.
I think that also is gonna come with maturity as well, with that experience, with us having those vets, bringing in those vets, having the guys in the rooms that know what they're doing, that have been either in college football and have seen significant playing time or have been in Sark's system for a minute.
Yeah,
Like, it's gonna get figured out.
true that. True, true. I mean, you got Makuba, Michael Taft. I talk
Mhm.
Taft. Look, Taft is a quarterback of the
Let's
defense.
go let's go into Michael Tabb because Mookie gets some hate. Mookie Tabb gets some hate. Get
Look,
off my boy Mookie.
Michael
Get
Taft
off my boy Mookie.
he is that dude. Michael Taft is the quarterback of the defense. He knows everybody's position. He knows where everybody's
Mhm,
supposed to be, right? When he's on the field, you don't see many miscommunications, errors on the
mhm.
field. Now he might lack some physicality wise,
I
like
mean,
athletic point, he may lack some, some things.
yeah.
He's on the field. I won't say this on live, but it's like
I know I know
hey,
what you're
look,
saying.
when
And
Taft is on the field,
honestly, everybody knows what you're saying.
all right, cool. When Taft is on the
Every
field,
single person knows what you're saying.
you got a saying. Milk check. Hey, look. It's milk check. Hey, I love Taff. But how many? If I gotta be honest, how many white DBs are there? Just across from
Not
college,
not very many.
right? So if I'm being real, if I see a guy lined up out wide, I'm literally calling, "Hey, milk check." I ain't
Go,
gonna run by you.
go.
There's
Mhm.
no slight to anybody, but let's just be real.
It just is it just is what it
Yeah.
is. No,
So
that's not
uh,
offensive, that just is what it is.
Michael Taff is that dude. I like him at free safety because he can get everybody lined up. When he's on the field, he gets everybody lined up. Man, you can tell he doesn't have any mental errors at all. He's for coming from being a walk on. I think he had to do the extra, and he took time to learn the playbook, learn the details. And he's a smart kid coming from Westlake. He applies
Mhm.
the same thing he does in the classroom to the football field, and so I think that it really shows. And I love having a kid, just like Dylan Haynes. Honestly, the same
Mhm.
way.
I was gonna bring up his story a little bit because I really like being able to highlight what Michael Taff has kinda gone through. He just did an interview, so I'm not gonna go into full detail just because he did a full interview with Third and Longhorn here on YouTube.
Oh wow,
It's available for you guys to go and watch it. It's an amazing interview. It gives a lot of detail into his backstory and how he got to where he is as a white DB. And
dang Cody, look.
so so
Hey, don't say that
if
now.
you haven't watched that interview, make sure you guys go watch it. It is a very, very good interview. But basically, exactly what you were just saying about how he came in as a walk on and basically had to work his ass off
Yep.
because he knew he wasn't going to be physically better than everybody.
Right.
But he had to go at one thing that he highlighted was that he went in knowing that he had to bring something different,
Yep. Yep.
knowing that his physical ability was not going to be enough. Not that it wasn't going to be enough, but
No, I get
it
it.
wasn't to where I mean, he was a walk on.
He's a lot.
You're not getting you're not getting these scholarship offers. You're not getting he's and let's also make it clear, Michael Taft coming out of high school was not a scrub. He
No,
was a good player.
real player.
He was a very good player, but it was just he was a walk on. He had a scholarship. He had a scholarship to Rice,
That's
I
what I was
believe.
doing, yeah. So he was,
He had it. He was on scholarship to play football at another university
yeah,
and ended up taking a PWO at Texas.
exactly.
That's the type of guy that Michael Taff is.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how bad he wanted to be at Texas.
I love the kid.
And knowing that that guy's on my team, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm right with my white DB. Let's get it. I'm riding with him.
Hey, he's one of my favorite players on the team. So hey,
I'm riding with it. I'm all about it. It's like I said, all of this is a great position for us to be in. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to see the dynamic that him and Makuba are able to have. And I'm excited to see the way that the DBs and the defense just kind of mesh together well anyways. Like just to see how like you were saying, going back to communication and making sure the mental errors and everything just aren't there from a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the emergence of Derek Williams, who played a lot last year, like as
Mhm.
at the other safety spot, like he's good.
Mhm.
So like,
We felt the absence. We
yeah,
felt his absence that first half.
yeah, yeah, we did. And I think
Oh.
we needed a second DB, so they put Barron back
Mhm.
there. Right,
Mhm.
so we have so many guys who can do multiple things. I think that's good because if you go back and look at when we're really, really good in defensive back room, we had the Aaron Hub, Aaron Ross, Michael Griffin,
Mhm.
Marcus Griffin,
Mhm.
Cedric Griffin, Terrell.
Yeah.
Like those guys can move around,
Mhm.
eat, right? And so I think we're getting that back.
We were DBU for a reason.
Yeah, we were.
Like, can we get back there?
We need
Can
to.
we get back there?
We need to.
Can we we're recruiting like we can.
We are.
We're recruiting that position like we can.
Right.
So, let's put it on the field and let's get this shit going.
Right. And a lot
Let's
of people,
get
so
it
you
going.
don't chew my head off, but that 2018 class with BJ Foster, Caden Stan,
Mhm.
And not Ant. Well,
Well, I mean, there's a reason that the Broncos have basically that entire
those
2018
dudes could play.
back
Like
end.
they get a bad rap because the record wasn't as good, or they got hurt during their career. They take
Mhm.
that same thing. They were good. Josh Thompson.
Well, like I said, there's a reason that the Denver Broncos damn near their entire back end is full of Texas Longhorns.
Longhorns, exactly. So, and all of them are there.
Like
So, yeah,
like it just is what it is, and I'm excited. It's exciting to see the guys that we knew were great players that came to Texas and came through Texas while we were struggling.
all right.
It's dope to see them still continuing to go on and do what we knew they could in
Yeah,
spite of the situation that they were dealt in college.
I agree.
Because like a lot of those guys are extremely, extremely talented that developed the right way were draft picks.
We're drafted. Yeah,
They were draft picks. They weren't undrafted free agents like a lot of them went.
all right.
So it's just it's one of those things where we're getting back to where we've all dreamed of.
Yeah,
Are we there yet? Maybe not. Are we a hell of a lot closer than we've been in
yeah,
a hot ass
yeah,
minute?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. So
Excited.
with spring practice coming tomorrow, it's exciting. We're in a very, very exciting time for Texas football. There's a lot to be very, very happy about, very anxious. And I know Paige had a question on here about because we were going to talk a little bit about, I know we've been on here for a minute, but
What's up,
I
Paige?
want to just do this is how I want to end this because I know we brought up the Under Armour camp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's kind of go into this a little bit because the Under Armour camp was in Dallas a couple weeks ago. It was in Houston last weekend. And so how are you feeling about that?
And,
What kind of jumped off the page for you? We obviously saw those of you that don't know, athlete Lance Jackson, four-star athlete Lance Jackson committed he's currently committed to Texas,
mhm,
did win the UA camp MVP in Houston this past weekend. So that's a guy to be excited about going into that. So how do you feel about Lance Jackson? How are you feeling about the guys that you saw at the UA camp?
yeah. First of all, let's go ahead and fix his ranking. He's a 5 star. He should be.
He
He should be.
Mhm.
Like the kid's 6'6", 265, and he can move like he's 5'11", 185.
Write it down.
Hey, I like that's rare. Like we talking
Yeah.
like Miles Garrett type. We're talking.
Mhm.
Oh, I ain't gonna say Michael Parsons, but the dude has that kind of presence. Like he's so fast off the edge.
Mhm.
He's nimble. He's light on his feet for a big guy. And I think he can play any spot up and down the line, man. Like he is a talented kid. And then being from East Texas, look,
Beast, Texas.
East Texas is where I'm from, so I'm always going, pump that
Beast,
up. But
Texas.
903, but no, he I had to give a shout out because that's where I'm from. That's what it is. But that kid's good. He's special. He's gonna be special. And the fact that he
Mhm.
did it without having a D line coach, because he just wants to be a Longhorn. He wants to be in the program. He wants to
Mhm.
see Texas win. He wants to be a part of that. Lets me know all about that kind of type of kid. Like, hey, I don't care what my coach is gonna be. I'm coming to Texas. I'm gonna dominate. Cool.
I want to be at Texas. I want to be at Texas. I'm going to come play at Texas and that's what it's going to be. No matter I'm going to do my thing no matter who the coach is and once again, it just goes to show that we're on that right path.
Yep.
That we are barking up the right tree now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have woken up some sleeping giants
Yeah.
and we are really about to get going because all these hater comments, all the it ooh, I'm telling you, I know I'm sitting here talking crap, but I can't wait. I'm seriously so excited. I haven't felt this optimistic about the trajectory of the program in a hot minute,
Yeah.
and it's a great place to be in.
Yeah. It is, and it was a ton of other guys who have Texas offers at the camp, from Khalid Lockett, a receiver out of Sac,
Mhm.
who showed why he's a top 5 star receiver in the nation. Like the kid's smooth, man. He can run.
Mhm.
We got Andrew Marsh from Katy, Texas. Like Katy ain't known for having receivers.
Mhm.
That kid can go up and snag a ball. Like just seeing him, he's acrobatic.
Mhm.
Some of the other kids, man, 26 kids who have Texas offers already. Like these kids are good, right?
Mhm.
A lot of them were not from the Houston area. So the fact that you travel to Houston to go compete against that side, that region, lets me know what kind of competitor you are, right? And so, yeah,
Mhm.
it's just it was good to see.
So looking into from the UA camps, looking into the 2025 and 2026 classes, what position groups are you looking at as being like the star groups of those different classes? Because this year I feel like we've got really good receivers in this 2025 or 2024
Yeah.
upcoming recruiting class. There are a lot of there. It's really really deep in receivers,
Yeah.
and
So
so like what are the position groups that you're looking to in those recruiting cycles?
I would say linebackers and defensive linemen, maybe some whole line.
Mhm.
Right? I think and tight end. I think those guys. There's a lot of talent at those positions in this coming up class. I feel like this about the receivers now.
Mhm.
They're not. I feel like they're all the same. I feel like there's only a few who really separate from the pack, and in the receiver class that's coming out. There's
Mhm.
a few special guys, but everybody else, if you don't get guy A, you can get guy B, and you didn't miss anything. You can get guy T,
Mhm.
UV, and you still won't miss
Mhm.
anything because they're all the same to me.
Mhm. Like
And
there's not much of a gap.
they're just not talent wise, not size wise, not speed wise. I don't see a bunch of I gotta have.
Mhm.
I know that may sound crazy because, like, every year but I just don't see it. But then I
Yeah.
just feel like the Corian Moore, who okay,
I was just about to
gotta
say
have the Corian Moore.
we do have one.
Yeah.
We
So
do have a Decorian Moore.
and so he separates himself from the pack, right? So I
Mhm.
really think that he's really, really like them. There's a few more, but yeah. Um,
I kinda wanna talk about before we end this,
all right.
last topic. Last topic, we're gonna end on a big old bang
Here we
because
go.
we talked a little bit last week about what your conversations and stuff were happening with Decorian Moore, how well, not conversations with him, I didn't mean it like that. I
Y'all
didn't
good.
mean
Y'all good.
that's not even what I meant. I didn't mean, like, with him.
I don't even know who that kid is. I just saw him on.
That's not what I meant. I did not even see, this is why live is not very nice to me because I blab, and that's not even what I meant. I
Oh,
didn't
look,
mean that.
take a drink or something over here for that
No, but
one.
as Texas fans, we
Yeah.
know he's committed to LSU. He committed to LSU back in August, I believe, or September.
I can't remember. I know he committed when Caleb Durham.
It was right after Colin Simmons and
Yeah, it
Caden
was. It
Durham.
was. It was. Yeah.
It was right after that happened.
Mhm.
So it came as a little bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So that is one that we knew that Sark was not going to let up on that one.
Right.
So how are you feeling? How are you feeling
Uh,
on that front? How are you feeling when it comes to that relationship, just in general?
I mean, look, continue to recruit that kid until he signs, right? Like, I don't
Mhm.
like continue to recruit him until he signs at LSU. Make him sign at LSU. Like, don't give up. I don't care the night
Yeah.
before signing day. I don't know. Send somebody to Duncanville High School to say, hey, what you thinking? I don't care.
Mhm.
Do something.
Do
Continue to
something.
continue to recruit that kid, right, until the final
Mhm.
whistle because he's a must get. Like, I think he's the most complete receiver in this whole entire class. There's nothing
Mhm.
he cannot do, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, run routes, he has the speed, he can catch the ball away from his body, catch it in front of his face, high point the ball. Like, he knows how to slow down and sit down in zone and find a hole in zone defense. Like, the kid can do everything, right? And so,
Mhm.
um, and he has what coach? He has like a thick lower body because he's been running track all his life.
I
So he
like how you had to I like how you had to take a second and think about how you worded that.
I had to think about it, but he has a thick lower body. He's been running track all his life, so he has these big, strong legs. He's hard to bring down after
Yeah.
the catch. Like, he's just special, and so
Mhm.
um, I hope we continue to recruit him to the final whistle because, man, I love that kid.
I
I love
think all of as Texas, I feel like all Texas fans are just like
Yeah,
through the
yeah, yeah.
whistle.
I'm
Through
like
the
that too.
whistle, just keep pushing. And I will
Exactly.
say that is one of Sark's MOs,
Right,
right? Is his recruiting style in general is very patient.
right.
And it with Sark, it ain't over until it's
It
over.
ain't over till it's over, and I love
It
that.
ain't over until it's over.
Yeah, it ain't over till it's over.
So That's it, guys. We've finished our first live session. Thank
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
so much for joining in. I put my foot in my mouth a couple times. I've talked a lot of crap. I've made some mistakes. I've joked around.
All good.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys come back next week because we're going to, like I said, we're going to be doing this every single Monday starting at probably about 7 p.m. We started about 7:30 tonight. It'll be about that time, but we'll see how it goes. We'll keep playing it by ear. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much to everybody that commented. Thank you for everybody that is watching right now. Make sure you guys go and follow Coach Dub on all of his social media platforms. They are linked in my description below. Make sure you go follow me on all of my social media platforms as well. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all of the above, because we're gonna keep doing this. This is gonna be a weekly thing, guys. We're gonna get better. We're gonna have more fun. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna be dope. It's gonna be a dope time.
Right, and before I leave, y'all can find me on Twitter at Coach Williams II or InsideTexas.com. Like I said, it's $1 to subscribe. Please go check us out on the website. It's a great opportunity to learn everything about Longhorns there to know, from recruiting behind the scenes, what are recruits saying, what do the game plans look like, post game interviews and reviews, just everything you can think of is on InsideTexas.com. So please come and subscribe and check us out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Make sure you go to Inside Texas right now, subscribe, get all your information, have fun. Thank you guys so much again for heading on. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Hook 'em horns.
Oh no, Cody! Hey, Cody, look, Cody's been coming.
Hold up. We gotta bring that before we go. We gotta bring this one up because.
Hey, what's up? What's up with Orange Blood? Hey man, look, that's a rival, bro. I don't.
Oh, it's like a civil war.
Yeah,
civil war of Texas media.
Fight for the same team, but we, you know what I'm saying? That's
Texas
like
media civil war.
Brother, I really don't like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and shout out because his mom lives in 903. What part? What part of 903?
What part?
Yeah, what part? Hey, 903 is like, somebody mentions 903, like 903 is a family within itself. I just want to let you know. 903 is a family. So
I have family out in the 903, so I get that part of it.
Like family to me. I just wanted to know, Cody. You know what I mean? That's it.
Well, that's it.
And holla at y'all. See y'all next
Thank y'all so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's evening wherever you are. We'll see you guys next week. Hook 'em.